Uganda is arguably one of the most generous countries, hosting the largest refugee population in Africa and the fourth largest in the world. Stakeholders estimate that there could be more than 2 million refugees and asylum seekers hosted in Uganda by the end of 2025.
Even in countries that have probably twice the number of refugees than Uganda, like Iran, for example, has not availed such vast expanse of land. It's a demonstration of the profound generosity of the people of Uganda.
Besides hosting refugees, especially from the Great Lakes region, the country has over the years made significant contributions to bring peace to South Sudan, Somalia, Rwanda, Burundi, Central African Republic, and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Uganda has contributed to peace through UN, through AU, through East African Standby Force, which we have up to now, but also through single-handedly doing it, not through any institution. Apart from that, we have contributed through the General Assembly resolutions because we take positions that becomes binding.
However, Uganda's role as regional policeman has taken a toll on the country's economy.
Financially, data can show that in this year, Ministry of Defense got this money. In this year, Ministry of Defense get that money. That is huge cost because we have to buy military equipment, we have to pay salary, we have to do that. So you see a cost on that side. But also the cost in terms of lives. We lost soldiers, both in Somalia and in Sudan, wherever we have lost soldiers. War is war. War is war. So that is another cost in terms of lives.
The country has suffered backlash following the passing of the Anti-Homosexuality Act 2023, which is the harshest anti-LGBTQ law in the world. This resulted in a significant downturn in the country's international standing and financial relationships.
Those in favor say and contrary nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Anti-Homosexuality Act 2023.
The bill passed and the title settled.
It's a position that ideally we shouldn't have taken because at the end of the day, it was illegal for any of these kind of things to happen in the country. There's quite a lot that we've lost, definitely. Our relations with other countries, especially, and other international bodies like IMF, the World Bank, and the other bodies has greatly been affected, definitely.
Uganda has also attracted global attention over rampant human rights abuses, especially directed at shrinking civic space.
Why is it that people who are taken to court, even with their right to access bail, they are never released on bail? You cannot talk about, for example, judicial institutions. It also speaks to governance and the rule of law. So these are still failing. And the international community is right to reprimand our country. I don't believe that our image can change with the current governance structure and regime. We need change in this country. We need a civilian authority in this country so that we can now adhere to international expectations in terms of governance, human rights, accountability, among others. And that's when our image can improve.
The abuse of human rights is happening with the highest impunity in this country. We've seen the Chief of Defense Forces coming out in social media and issuing threats, but also in many times indicated that individuals he can arrest individuals and take them to basement and teach them some language. The impunity of that nature is worrying to me, and that that can happen, and there is nothing that can happen to such individuals, yet they hold public positions. It affects the image of course, how we position ourselves globally, but also it affects, the question of investment.
So how can Uganda redeem itself from the consequences of the anti-LGBTQ law and bad human rights record?
Stop detaining people. in safe houses, in non-gazetted places of detention. That's how you can improve on our record. It's not a question of saying that, of explaining. It's a question of being showing on the ground what is being done on the ground. Issues of detention, how are people detained? Issues of kidnaps. If someone has committed an offense or is suspected to have committed an offense, the laws as they are known and the legal standards are the same internationally.
We have institutions that should be able to protect Ugandans. Parliament should come out very strong in condemning some of these things. The Uganda human rights should be very vigilant and come out very strong to ensure that we demand for better. Institutions such as the Uganda Law Society should actually come out, condemn, but also, prosecute some of these matters before the law.
As Uganda marks 63 years of independence, the country is making strides in stamping its place in the global map by taking center stage in critical decision-making events such as the Non-Aligned Movement and the African Peer Review Forum. Such roles are critical in boosting Uganda's position on the international stage. Daniel Kibet, NTV.